The weather is really cool and nice.
It's the weather.
The worst thing that can happen to you is
you
your
hit
alarm
snooze
going
on your alarm?
Now I stopped.
Oh, I hit snooze about 3 times.
So do you know what I do? When I know I have to wake up maybe at 4 a.m., I give myself some extra 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that's enough time for snoozing. So once the alarm goes off, I know you don't really have time.
So I have a 3:40, and then I have a 3:50, and I have a 4 o'clock, and I have a 4:10. So I have 4 alarms.
So technically, you wake up at 4:10.
Yeah. So technically.
So why don't you just leave it at 4:10? And then when you wake up, psych yourself to know that okay, I've snoozed enough.
I have tried.
It's time to wake up.
But I recently read some report by a psychologist who said that the moment you snooze, actually, when your alarm goes off and you wake up, you are awake at that time.
Yeah.
But if you go back to sleep and if you hit a snooze button and go back to sleep for 10 minutes, your body starts a new sleep cycle.
Yes,
and so you would be more tired if you wake up at 4:10 if your alarm went off at 3:50. You'd actually be better off waking up at 3:50 because when your body starts a new sleep cycle, you feel more sleepy at 4:10 than you did
that's
at
the
3:50.
time when you wake
Then
up.
don't wake up at all. Leave your alarm at 6 a.m. Call your boss and say, oh, emergency. Anyway, well, yeah.
Let's take you through what we have for the morning. So we'll be looking at a number of conversations. For this morning, the conversation is going to be about a story of a 16-year-old who seemed to be in a certain difficulty. Armstrong gave us a report on that, but we'll also be looking into it. And there's a community called Fana, not too far away from Tetegu and many of those areas in English I'm from areas, or Botiano English I'm from. And it's as a result of a boat disaster that happened. And 5 months on, we have a number of victims, including the 16-year-old who is the focus of this content or story. So we'll be taking a look at that. And then we'll get on to Johnny's Bite, and then we'll look at big issues. And of course, the voter registration will have to dominate the discussions. Myself, apart from what we pick from the news feed, I had a number of friends, or I still have a number of friends who are monitoring the registration exercises, either as officials of the Electoral Commission or on the part of the political parties. And the reports they've been giving all of us have not been the best. So we'll have Osman Ayariga joining us, and then Enoch as well. And then we'll have Dr. Asa Asante, political science lecturer, University of Ghana. And then we'll mainstream into the other conversations subsequently. And now we do have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yes, we do. We're going to be talking about suicide and mental health. I think a couple of days ago, Ghana celebrated, the world celebrated Suicide Prevention and Suicide Awareness Day. And we're told that around the world, at least 700,000 people commit suicide every single year. And for every one attempted suicide, there are 20 attempts. So for every one successful one, there are 20 others that were unsuccessful. And I think it's becoming a public health concern now. In Ghana, 1,500 people commit suicide every year. 1,500 people commit suicide every year. And for every one, there are 20 attempts. And I think we'll all agree that this is very disturbing. And a lot of the suicides and suicide attempts are as a result of mental health issues, depression, anxiety, extreme sadness, and so on. Today, we're going to be talking about suicide prevention. If you're watching us and you have had suicidal thoughts, or you have ever attempted suicide, or you know someone who has had suicidal thoughts, has told you that they're frustrated with life and they think they want to give up, they want it all to end, please stay tuned. You should watch our conversation this morning. We'll be joined by Dr. Damilola Okusaga Arthur. She's a clinical psychologist from the Accra Psychiatric Hospital. She's going to be talking to us about everything we need to know about suicide prevention and awareness and more. This conversation is for you. And we always say that suicide is not the answer. Death does not solve everything. Yeah. You're better off alive. Talking to the right person will help you get through it, whatever it is.
You know what, there's some very startling statistics. So good morning to everybody who tuned into the BU conversation. We had a suicide prevention conversation with Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur. And he says that as it stands now, there are just about 10,000 doctors taking care of all of us, about 32 million Ghanaians. And even that, when it comes to the numbers for clinical psychologists, just about 100 of them.
Wow.
Just about 100 of them in the entire country. He says, however, that you can walk into any health facility and still get access to mental health, education, etc., and help. And so for everybody who's watching, it will be necessary to have this conversation, especially for you to know where exactly to go, and the fact that we don't even have the numbers when it comes to having these doctors. And every time someone attempts or commits suicide, it's because of something that happened in their childhood, and not necessarily because of the situation at hand.
Or the present day.
Exactly, and this is what Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur is saying. So you need to really do some introspection and understand what may have happened, as a child growing up, that may have led to the thoughts that you have today.
So some family history is very important.
Exactly, it is.
We'll see how that goes. And please make sure you join that conversation. As always, you can monitor this. TV3 Ghana, always available. Facebook. We also have X, of course. X is Twitter. We're not talking about X. X. Yeah,
it's confusing.
We have to get used to it. Elon Musk, Ketsy. And then also we have Thread and then YouTube as well. It's a birthday of Siobhan Nashika Coleman, the daughter of the chief executive for Wembley Sports Construction, Robert Coleman. And Siobhan, you're a student of the North Hills International School. And Robert Coleman, your dad, says a blessed happy birthday to you.
Robert, we miss you. You haven't passed by in a long time.
Right.
Come visit us.
Well, we have to go for a break. When we come back, we have the segment This Morning for you.
The rivalry that senior high schools engage in is still present within alumni. The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains even after school. If your school can cook, it means your school is here. If your school can boast of good culinary masterminds, this right here is the perfect platform to showcase that skill set. Alumni have met, and they have chosen representatives to take up the task of preparing extraordinary dishes to bring victory to their respective schools.
Tell me what you're cooking.
Week in, week out, these schools will mount these workstations in a bid to buy your nutritional affinity to them. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your taste buds and fasten your aprons. These culinary experts are set to battle for the enviable crown of being tagged Lords of the Kitchen. This is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye ono soko.
PGL.
I'm a hero from zero up to hero.
Many with great voices have taken their chance on the biggest music reality show on screen.
Rap na kasa be my career.
Some stood out with their lyrical abilities and style. Mentor is back. The search is on. Who becomes the next winner? Mentor, the world awaits you.
Are you ready to win solid cash every day with Cash Out? Be a proud winner of lots of cash simply by watching or listening to any of Media General stations. That's right, you are being rewarded for your loyalty. Tune in to all Media General brands. TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onia TV, Onia FM 95.1, all in Accra, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and Connect FM 97.1 in Takoradi. To enter Enter the cash out raffle on your favorite Media General station. Just dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform to enter. Voila! You are now eligible to become one of the 10 lucky winners of a cool cash prize. Remember, this is every day, all day on your favorite Media General station. Cash out and win big! This is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Limited. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiambofo, and William Asidu. Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You're welcome back, and it's still TV3 New Days. Time now to head straight into this morning. And today we're having a conversation on a story that I'm sure Gold Alogbe has followed up on. And it says that the 16-year-old operator of the canoe which capsized and killed 9 pupils in Fana, an island community in Ghana South Municipality, is still not in school 5 months after the incident. So over 20 students in the community have also dropped out of school due to government's failure to provide a canoe with an outboard motor and a psychologist for the surviving victims as promised. Let's take a look at the story.
On May 10, 2023, at Fana in the Ghana South Municipality, 9 children lost their lives when their boat capsized while returning from school, bringing bad memories to the community and family members. State officials visited the scene and promised to provide a canoe with an outboard motor to transport pupils to school every day.
We are going to bring a canoe and an outboard motor to them to help them, and a life jacket as well. So these are the immediate interventions that, in earnest, RCC together with the assemblies and the members of parliament will do whilst we wait for the report and then see what government will also offer the community.
5 months have passed, but the promise is yet to be fulfilled. We are back at Fana. We visited Vision Redeemer Academy School, where most Fana children attend. 7 people died in the May 10 canoe accident. Most classrooms are empty, and most students haven't reported to school 5 months later.
They are no more coming to school because of what's happening to them. Some of the parents, I think they are afraid to bring their wards here again, so they send them back to their various hometowns.
We visited the NGO school, Secretary Service Awareness and Support Organization, where 13-year-old Angela, a victim of the accident, attends school. According to her teachers, she is yet to recover from the shock after the accident.
Since the incident happened, when you give her work to do, she will not do it. Then she will be mentioning the name of those who pass on.
Her teachers say getting a psychologist for her and other victims of the accident will help them recover. After school, students spent over 2 hours waiting at the riverbank for a canoe to arrive.
They are fortunate to have some life jacket. We are told was donated by some NGOs and also the South Assembly. The boat they promised them is, however, yet to be given to the Fana community.
The 16-year-old at the center of the canoe accident and his parents have departed the community following attacks from the residents. The community leadership is dissatisfied that government has not fulfilled its promises.
We are still waiting for them. They promised us a canoe and outboard motors, but it is taking forever. We are tired of the lies.
The news team visited Tegbi in the Volta region, where Augustine Achu and his family have relocated. But unfortunately, he is now a school dropout.
We have to leave the community because the residents keep accusing and insulting my family for killing their children. It hurts a lot when they pass those comments.
He's willing to go back to school if he gets financial support.
I want to go back to school, but don't have any help.
Augustine Achu, one of many children who dropped out of school due to the canoe accident, is a victim of lack of support and access to basic social amenities and educational facilities in deprived communities. Sustainable Development Goal 4 targets for quality education aims to enhance education by providing equal access and equity for all ages, safer learning spaces, and more qualified teachers. However, the Gansouth Municipal Assembly has confirmed that the government has not yet provided a canoe and an operator to the Fana community. Joseph Armstrong, Gold Alugu TV3, Fana, Gansouth.
And yes, that's the update on this issue concerning the loss of 9 lives. In fact, children in Fana, a community in Botswana. Very heartbreaking. And the fact that promises were made to provide life jackets for them and an outboard motor. Unfortunately, 4 months down the line, that still has not been done. And many questions have arisen as a result of that. I mean, I remember that there were some experts who even suggested that swimming becomes part of the lessons, the extracurricular lessons, for students in school, because you need to learn how to swim from a very early stage, and teachers have to learn it as well, just in case there's a disaster. Yeah. Then you can, find your way out of the water. But even beyond that, why do these communities not have their own schools?
Yep.
Because if they do, there won't be a need to cross.
That's true.
If they have their own health facilities, if they have all the amenities within their community, it would only be once in a while that they will have to cross over to another community, or at least roads should be constructed.
Very sad.
We're not doing any of these things, and we keep promising them life in heaven, and we go back on our words 5 months later, nothing is done about it.
And these disasters keep happening, and governments keeps promising canoes with outboard motors and other solutions to prevent them from happening. This year alone, in August, is it Tolun, the name of the community, 4 farmers died because their canoe capsized. In March, 6 people died in the Volta region because their canoe capsized. Again, in March, 8 people died in Debon, in the Oti region, because their boat capsized. In May, 9 children died because their boat capsized. We keep hearing these things. The government keeps promising canoes and other solutions. Nothing is done. And these deaths keep occurring. These are preventable deaths. And it's very painful to watch. When the report was on screening just now, I couldn't watch. Because watching 9 coffins lowered of children because the government has failed them is painful. And 4 months later, from May, June, July, August, September, 1 canoe with an outboard motor has still not been provided. life jackets have been provided by some NGO, and students are unable to go to school. The school has been abandoned. The girl who survived has not gotten any help. And those who continue to go to school have to wait 2 hours on the bank of the river for a canoe to come and get them. It's... Anyway.
Yeah, very sad development.
Yeah, these things don't make sense. And I agree with you, Bella. Swimming should be one of the things that the children should learn at a very early age. You'd see that the beach communities in Accra, you know, Bukom, La, Osu, all the children in the community can swim. You know, you see very young children, 3 years, 4 years, swimming very professionally, you know, in the ocean.
It's a very sad development.
Yeah.
I have Nyasa who says that he grew up in that community and was...
Fana.
Yes, and was thinking by this time they should have some help. I know that in April there was a teacher who died in Tepa, you know, trying to cross the Volta Lake from his abode or his area where he lives to the school, which is just beyond the river. You know, it's a very sad thing.
Yes, it is.
So.
Tete Wari Samson, good morning to you. I mean, he's been one of the people, very ardent, an ardent viewer of New Day, and he's always complaining about some of these things. And he says that, I think I'm the one who's spoken about these canoe issues more than anyone. Go to Adan and see for yourself. A lot of issues occurring. We want you to call us and share your concerns with us on this matter. Well, Armstrong actually is on the line. Hello, Armstrong. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Bella.
Thank you so much, first of all, for going back to, you know, document this issue and give us the update on it. But really, tell us, putting the story together is different from actually experiencing what those people are experiencing in the community. Why has it taken so long? Pay your checks.
Yeah, Bella, so that is an issue that the South Assembly would have to be explained to us now. I made efforts to get them to explain to me why it's taking them forever to provide the community the boats they promised them, and also the outboard motor they said they would add, and also even employ an official boat or canoe rider that will transport the children from the Fana community to the other side of the river. And they told me, well, they are taking instructions from the Regional Coordinating Council, and as at when that is made available, then they will just go and present it to them. But as it stands right now, the boat is not really available to them, Bella.
And so as it stands now, the peoples are still crossing with other canoes that do not have the outboard motor. Is there any other form of protection, at least within the community, for them?
But you see, so the only boat that used to transport them was what was involved in that, and that was what capsized on the river. So the people there told me that most of the time they come to the riverbank and they have to go back to their various homes because they don't get a single canoe that to transport them to their school. So let's say in about a month they can absent themselves about like 15 times or so, and the teachers confirmed that to me that's what happened. So most of the time when they come, it's like they're always drawing the class backwards. So those that cannot afford absenting themselves from school, most of the time stay home. They don't want to go to the school at all. And as it stands right now, until government gives them the boat or the canoe, it looks like education in that part of the country will come to a halt forever.
This is very disturbing. But also the little girl who has not received psychological help. I mean, what's the update on that? Have you tried to reach the Psychological Association to find out why nobody has really been assigned to help her through this trauma?
You know, when the incident happened, it was made public that we were going to get them the psychologists to see to some of them. And that little girl, we are fortunate to meet her that day. But we are told there are other two girls who have been sent to their hometowns. I couldn't trace them to where they are, unlike the 16-year-old boy that I was able to find at Sydney in the Volta region. There's another lady I'm told is called Edna. Her situation is even worse. And she has been taken to her hometown too, but I couldn't get to where she was. So the psychologists claim they were going to give them, they never did what the teachers told me. And according to the teachers, they have been trying to counsel them and speak inside their mind, and which is why we have the Angela lady in the state in which she is now.
How do the locals feel about all these failed promises?
One of the elders of the community used it in the plain language that I don't know what I'm saying it well. He says that the lights are becoming too much for us. Anytime they come and hear a lot of things for the cameras, and when the cameras are gone, and they will also go and sleep. And the man also was knowledgeable enough to tell me that it appears the media have been helping the politicians or leadership of the country to be taking a lot of lies to them, because when they see the cameras, they make all the promises, and the cameras don't come back to check whether what the politicians promised have been fulfilled or not. So it was very thankful to TV3 for coming back to follow up on their issue, because we were wondering how we can tell their story to the world that the promises made by the government officials that came there have not been fulfilled.
That's disappointing, and of course, I mean, there's some truth to it as well. They make all these promises, we cover it, and then for some reason we're unable to follow up. But thank you so much for deciding to go back to FANA to follow up on this matter, and I do hope that the right authorities will do what they ought to do. Thank you, Joseph Armstrong Gold Alogbe, and he brought us that report and update on promises that were made to the community. We'll try and speak to the MC within that community to get some update on this as well. And of course, if you also want to share your concerns, the hashtag is TV3 New Day.
Yeah, it's very sad. You get to see some of these typographical areas or the geographical areas, and it's some of these island communities that are developed in Bali and elsewhere in the UAE that we always go for tourist attractions or vacations, etc. And we are in Ghana. We have some of the best resources. The sun is even available for solar technology or harvesting for power or any other use for greenhouses, etc. We even have all these water bodies that, you know, when you take a look at what has been done in other countries that we tend to admire, and you keep asking, why is that we're not able to do this? It's surprising. For example, when the floods come, and you look at the devastation across or along Ghana's coast, from the Keta Basin right down to Axine. And we just have all these, and we do nothing. I keep wondering, is it that maybe we are cursed as black people or Africa, and so the kind of transformational leadership that is needed, we just don't. Look, the UAE, you go there physically, you even watch how they are able to reclaim land. Reclaim from the sea. And we have it, and the seas.
Don't go too far, even Labadi Beach, La Beach Road.
Just
all the way to Tema Beach Road. What have we done? Anyway, Johnny's Bites.
We'll follow up on the story,
I think it could watch Johnny's Bite.